Mark Zuckerberg is scheduled to appear before a joint hearing of the Senate Judiciary and Commerce Committees.
He was on Capitol Hill yesterday to meet with several lawmakers before today's hearing. He will answer questions about privacy issues at Facebook. The company admitted Cambridge Analytica had access to information for about 87 million users without them knowing. Cambridge Analytica is a data firm based in London that had ties to the Trump campaign.
He said they were lied to by Cambridge Analytica. Well, you can't protect our privacy just on the basis of somebody telling you that they're going to protect it. So does that mean law? Does that mean regulation? Yes.
Congress released Zuckerberg's prepared testimony. In it, he says his company did not do enough to prevent these tools from being used for harm.
Joining us is David Kennedy, a former NSA hacker and CEO of TrustedSec, an information security consulting company. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So was Facebook just careless? Were they naive? Or was it all just part of a plan to make more money?
Well, if you look at what Facebook's business model is, it's to sell personal information, and that's how they make their money. So when you go to Facebook and you put in personal information, where you're from, your personal preferences, what you shop for, all that data is sold to companies and used to be able to market, and targeted ads and other pieces of information. So when this was going on in 2013, maybe they didn't want to expose this much amount of data where they're able to actually, it was only sent to about 100,000 people, but what happened is it went to everybody's contacts, so it spread kind of like a worm across everywhere. So they're able to pull people's contact information, what their personal preferences were, and that's how you got to that multi-million person count number. And so they locked that down. But really, what we're looking at is Mark Zuckerberg's business is your information. That's how he's able to make money. That's how the company is able to make money. That's why it's a multi-billion-dollar organization. It's really based on selling personal information.
So is that model going to change going forward? Are they going to charge people to use it and not sell personal information?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like that. What Mark Zuckerberg is saying is that they're going to take better precautions in trying to restrict the amount of access that certain developers may have, certain surveys may have, but it's not changing its business model around how it's able to sell its information to target ads against you, or the type of information that it actually collects against you. Just 2 weeks ago, it was identified that if you use the Facebook Messenger app, if you're using Android, it would actually go and pull your contact information and pull all of the calls that you were doing. So there's a lot of information that Facebook is pulling and storing in order to really try to target ads against individuals, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon.
So the question is, how should we look at this? Facebook might say, hey, this is what we are. If you want to be a part of it, great, and it's a fun way to connect. But Congress may be looking at this and say, hey, this is the new way we communicate, and this is a bigger deal, and we need to control you. Which is the better way to look at this?
Well, what Mark is doing, and that's why he's taking a lot of the blame, is trying to get ahead of this so that there isn't regulations and restrictions put on the type of information they can do, because that would have a major impact on their business. What Congress is looking at is, hey, this is a massive exposure. It's not just this Cambridge Analytica. Remember that there's a lot of terrorist activities that's going on. Conservatives are saying that they're hindering ads that were going from the Conservative Party during the election cycle. It's more than just the Cambridge Analytica problems that they're having with Facebook. It's the amount of power that Facebook has around personal information and how they're using it. So we may see, a lot of discussion around what restrictions can they put in place in private companies and the type of information that they can collect in order to protect it. We don't know at this point, but it's going to be interesting to see how both of these play out and what the middle spot is going to be.
Real quickly before we go, is there anything the average person can do except stay off of social media?
Well, we've already seen a movement called Delete Facebook, where Elon Musk deleted his SpaceX profile and Tesla profile. Steve Wozniak from Apple deleted their profile. A lot of folks are actually going and deleting their Facebook profiles based on the information and the protest what's going on. What I'd recommend is going into your privacy settings, making sure that they're locked down so these developers can't have access to your information. You can actually lock them down in your settings profile, and gives you granular permission, but they are open by default.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.